Good afternoon, everyone. It is time for afternoon prayer. I ask you to, first of all, I want to thank you for playing the YouTube. But let's take some quiet time out of our day just to pray a little bit, to pray for our world, to pray for ourselves, those people who are struggling, whether they're at home or those people who are sick, those people who are affected economically. So let's close our eyes for a moment. I'm going to have the screen go black, and let's go ahead and focus and center as we do every seventh hour prayer. So let's take some relaxing breaths as we quiet the mind, the heart, and the soul, closing our eyes and mouths so we can find some quiet space. Feeling the cool air come in, hold it for a moment, and exhale. Continue to breathe quietly and deeply as you let all the stress, the busyness of the day, or even the boredom, to let it go for a moment. Want your body to become relaxed each time you exhale. Today's scripture verse is from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 18. Peter approached Jesus and asked him, "Lord, if my brother or sister sins against me, how often must I forgive them? As many as 7 times?" Jesus answered, "I say to you, not 7 times, but 77 times." I'm confident that most, if not all of us, are very familiar with that scripture passage, and it's one thing to talk about forgiveness, another thing to actually do it. C.S. Lewis once said, "Forgiveness is a very beautiful idea. It's more difficult when we have to put it into practice." And actually today we celebrate the feast of St. Patrick, who was enslaved by the Celts in Ireland in the 5th century. And he eventually escaped, and he became a priest, he became a bishop, and then he came back to evangelize them, to share the good news with those people who had enslaved him. That's forgiveness. I'm going to ask each of us at this time to perhaps reflect on that person or a couple people in our lives who we need to forgive. Let's ask for God's help and come and bringing those people to mind, and then let's ask for God's help to make that happen. Let's go quiet for a little while, and then we'll come back and sum it up. Forgiving people is one of the most difficult things that we as Christians are called to do, and to forgive as we've been forgiven. Especially during this Lent, we're mindful of just how much we've been forgiven for and how we were forgiven through the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Let's continue to pray for those people that maybe that we need to forgive, and to pray for ourselves as we ask for guidance to do so as we model the life of Jesus. This concludes our prayer. Have a great day.